3 bans, not going to be enough, but they're throwing them out.
No, haven't been enough so far, but Rises there, the first 2 bans once again for KX. Annie actually in addition there for M3 going to ban out the Vlad again, and Kx.Happy this time going to pick on Looper. Hecarim banned out there as well. Twisted Fate, another ban there coming into the mid lane, so that's been banned 3 games straight. And KX, with the way this shakes out, wouldn't be too surprised to see Shyvana taken away.
Yeah, exactly. Get the really good secondary Smite teleport, but they go the LeBlanc straight up. That is a brave blind pick.
I mean, they have to. They can't give it back to Data. They banned it 2 games in a row. Have to block it somehow. We'll first pick it here, but that will open up lots of options here, potentially for M3. But what do they want to go back to? I would love to see Sejuani Shyvana, just to confuse you again, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly right. And we'll see if that does come through. They're actually looking at the Thresh. You feel with the Annie gone. Of course, W was happy to play Nautilus, didn't really do the champion justice last game. Had an absolute nightmare of a game. He wants to regret that one fairly soon, but they're actually even dodging the Sedge.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen teams definitely pick other junglers over. Rek'Sai and Gragas in particular have been the 2 that we've seen. It is going to be Gragas Thresh for M3, and I like it.
Yeah, I do as well. I think that they're 2 good mid-game champions. Gragas peaks a lot early in the Sejuani, you have to say that in particular. And the response seems to be that they don't want to take the Sejuani into it. They instead go for the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, Urgot only apparently for Ulkon. That's 2 games in a row. Subbed him in after game 1, and it's been Urgot all the time coming through. Rek'Sai, of course, the second pick there as well. KX, another good draft coming through, and a bit more damage in the mid lane this time.
Yeah, they certainly do have some more damage, and we'll see what that leads to. This matchup,
baby.
I actually feel goes in Zed's favor at the moment, so we'll see if Dade is willing to opt into it, of course. You say that with your fingers crossed because there's always the chance that you misplay once and LeBlanc kills you.
Yeah, it's really volatile, but Dade's locked it in, feeling himself after 2 great games. The Dade Zed will return once again, and SMLZ going to turn on the aggression. Graves is his AD carry choice this time.
Yeah, so looking to get super aggro in that lane. Surprised it's not something like a Jinx to go along with the Thresh and just get you some good late game damage, but they've really committed to the mid game this time around.
Yeah, kind of maybe even wanting to match the 2v2 lane this time against the Urgot lane. Looks to be quite an aggressive duo brewing for Kx.Happy here, as well as they're going to also consider their top laner choices. Looper actually the one saving his spells right now. Probably going to be Shyvana potentially, especially if Maokai shows his face in the top side of the map, but couple more seconds for KX to consider. This is their last game to really get something happen. They have to win 3 straight here. They make a couple swap rounds. It's Maokai Braum their last 2 picks.
Yeah, so Braum a little bit more interesting there. It's definitely on meta because it's so tanky in the late game. We'll be able to block a lot of what comes out from Graves as well. So maybe it's a support-specific matchup they like down there. But once again, really doesn't have an identity, this comp. Where does the consistent damage come from?
Yeah, it's a lot of pick potential, lots of assassinations, and some good frontliners across the board. LeBlanc, very mobile, but not very tanky, and that's about it. And M3, they already have 1 comfort champion coming through for Dade. Looper might be throwing the Shyvana out the window for this game. He's already swapped his summoners over. I think M3 want to have some fun.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they want to commit to the mid-game, get this one over and done with. They think they're a better team fight comp. From what I've seen, I agree with them, so why not commit heavily to it?
Yeah, and Looper taking Rumble away, one of his signature champions as well. It's basically signature champs across the board here, with maybe the exception of Condi, whose Gragas has looked great in the very team-oriented play that we've seen from M3 this game. Another great comp, and Kx.Happy again. Their Game 1 comp looked fantastic, and Games 2 and 3 have just been a bit awkward, to be honest.
Yeah, it looked like they picked their comp game 1, and then game 2 with all the bans in the mid lane, they kind of threw themselves through a loop, and it just seems to be going downhill from there. We'll have to see though, because of course everything on the line now, you would expect them to pull out something special.
Yeah, we'll have to see as Kx.Happy. No more games left to give away here. Maokai Rumble as well will start things off here in the top lane, and in the jungle, Rek'Sai versus Gragas again. We'll be seeing a lot of this in the upcoming week.
Yeah, we certainly will. And in the mid lane, Dade has grabbed Zed versus Churchery's LeBlanc, and you have to see whether that's a pick away or whether he really can excel on it.
Yeah, assassins everywhere. Going to be a volatile mid lane as Urgot versus Graves, a potential AD carry matchup. Don't know if they want to swap away here. Very aggressive in the bottom side with good engage for supports as well, as it's Braum versus Thresh.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how it works out. SMLZ, if he blinks first and gets that Noxian Corrosive Charge on him, all the Acid Hunters to follow, will be in a lot of trouble, but if he has that quick draw available, we'll be able to put down the pain.
Yeah, pretty curious 2v2 lane here, but I think mid lane's where we want to look. It's Assassin just everywhere coming through between Zed and LeBlanc. And I think a pretty even matchup, to be honest. Lots of skill there, and Dade, I think he wants to flex some muscles.
Yeah, he certainly does want to get in his face. I still give it to Zed because he has the ability to dodge out of a lot of the damage, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll see what Dade Zed can do. It's the final game, potentially, for M3 versus KX. And welcome back onto the Rift here. It's match point for M3. They've got 3 straight match points actually here. It's a best of 5. They're up 2-0, and Dade starts things off well by queuing LeBlanc.
Yeah, so he's got the early blood through there. See how he makes that one work. He's gone the Doran shield, so a very defensive start out of Dade. Want to know if he's run any, lifesteal on his Quince, or whether he's just gone for some armor penetration. Of course, Zed players love to be able to get greedy and just throw flat armor penetration everywhere. Because with your passive, don't have any problems last hitting. You're able to get a lot of mid-game damage when you grab that Brutalizer.
Yeah, and I like Dade's general defensive mindsets. He draws a lot of attention from the mid lane. We saw a 4-man gank in the first game of this series as well. So tends to like to play his laning phases very conservatively. It's those skirmishes and especially team fights where even on Zed, Dade can excel.
Yeah, certainly can. You see Lupa, he's also done it. He's respected them, picked up the shield, hasn't gone for something greedy like a health crystal in the first item pick up there. We see a lane swap going towards Kx.Happy side this time around. They want to get away from the 2v2.
Yeah, I was curious about how that was going to go down as we actually have some minions picked up. I think, yeah, it was Maokai get a bit of extra CS coming through. Didn't finish the camp, so just the early status here. And in fact, Eternal already moving down towards the bottom side in the 1v2.
Yeah, so able to get that in there. Dade, he made a misstep. He threw a Shuriken out early. Normally what you want to do with Zed, which puts you in good stead for this, is wait for them to W on you. Shuriken auto attack at the same time, and you get some good trade damage back. Really does shut down LeBlanc's early aggression on level 1. One of the only champions that can really do that to LeBlanc. LeBlanc generally wins level 1 trades.
Yeah, you got to send a message, of course, as well. And Dade actually going to fall behind in the race to level 2. Going to sit back with the Doran shield, get some regen going. And right now, Churchery is going to take control of the lane early.
Yeah, so he's able to get in there. Really put some pressure on Dade. He's grabbed the level 2 now. We'll be able to see us fine underneath turret. But if this is a continued thing, him getting pushed in, this harass will start to go up.
Yeah, you could see LeBlanc diving in aggressively, just trying to get as many autos in as well, abusing the bit of range versus melee matchup here as well. And Dade, we expect him to sort of maybe struggle here in the lane. Level 6 might be a different story, but he's looking to farm up safely for now and falling a bit behind.
Yeah, he's falling a little bit behind. I think that he'll be able to turn this one around using a lot of mana early as Churchery. So see how that one works out. 3-man dive coming through onto Lupa here. The wave's been stacked nicely. He won't have level 3, and he will miss a lot if it goes through. Yeah,
it's a classic here as Brom gets in a bit of the stun. Of course, Asset Hunter does not proc the Brom passive, so not able to get the stun there, but good trade damage coming in, and Lupa, smart decision, backs away immediately.
Yeah, he's going to back away. The lane's pushing in anyway. He's not going to really miss out on much, so he'll get back with full HP by the time that comes through. See if he can make it work. Yeah,
Dade again taking some harass early on, but you know, giving LeBlanc back some as well. Going to eat some potions potentially as LeBlanc farming up nicely. Good CS lead currently, but again, we'll see quite a lot of farming. Dade should be able to play safe enough in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's certainly looking to just play safe, maybe even a little bit over safe as they completely zone out bottom lane, so both top laners being picked on at the moment. Lupa, he's trying to get back up there, stop the recall of Rek'Sai and continue to pick up whatever scraps he can, but SMLZ and Love CD, they're returning the favor.
Yeah, and as we've seen, it's a change away from the Smite teleport top lane as we've seen, especially for Lupa now in the Rumble. A much different situation, much more traditional struggles for the top laners now in their 1v2. As well, Eternal going to pick up some nice CS and experience.
Yeah, so they're not able to get in there. And Dade, he takes a chain as well. That probably shouldn't have happened. So now he's getting a little bit punished. He's burnt his potion as well, and he's 16 to 28 CS. Churchery, he's playing this one well. Yeah,
looking good here, but we actually have Condi moving in now. Dade going to come through, going to look for it, knows that that one's the real LeBlanc. Going to go in aggressively. Ignite goes down, and Dade is going to pick up first blood, but Nunai here as well. Dade, no shadow left for the teleport. Even going to come through. Flash knock up there. They want Dade Lantern, though, from Love CD. And they're going to try and get Condi up, but he's a little too low. Gets the kill as he dies, though, in a 2-for-1 trade for M3.
Yeah, and they grab the assist on nearly all their members as well. That is absolutely massive at the start of the game. How did Graves get an assist?
I don't know. That's very interesting.
Yeah, hopefully that's a spectator bug going through there, and he didn't grab any extra gold off it, but we'll see exactly what goes down. Dade grabbing first blood, puts him right back in this lane. He's also going to be able to grab a lot of CS for himself. So Zed, whilst being punished early by the LeBlanc, looks to be okay.
Yeah, Lupa struggling a tad as well. That level disadvantage in particular going to cause some problems. Ulcon, thankfully for Lupa, running a little low on mana, but Love City returning to the top side now. Actually going to maybe even try a gank on. Does have the hook ready to go. Just missing there, but will line up the flay. Going to go in quite aggressive. Flame Spitter down as well. Damage will come through, but Urgot nice and tanky with the Terra Capacitor active. And just a bit of babysitting here from Thresh.
Yeah, so able to get in there. He zones him off the wave. Probably forces him back to grab that tier early. And Lupa, he's done the smart thing. He's not shoving in too aggressively, trying to keep the wave as neutral as possible.
He needs to get some CS. As Eternal able to almost triple the CS, and you can see quickly Lupa catching up as Condi coming down to the bottom side as well. No ulti here for Graves, but a great smoke screen actually to kick things off. Condi going to activate his W, keep walking in and try and line up a body slam as Eternal trying to get away, but has been knocked out. Twisted advance, the dive comes in, and no ignite available means Condi gets low. SMLZ going to use the heal to keep him safe, and just gets away with Eternal.
Yeah, so he's able to get away. They also have to back out of the gank because they don't know where the duo lane is. Jungler and AD carrier heading down to that area of the map, and Dade, now he's level 6. Wow.
So surprised he didn't swap to the Shadow and Ultimate. But he's not going to keep it safe for now. LeBlanc not quite level 6, so Dade has all-in potential looming.
Yeah, and somehow he's picked up a third longsword. So he's juggling one of them on one of his feet.
Nice. Impressive stuff there. As Lupa's even down for a dive as well on Dade. He's going to be going in there. Poke comes through. Lupa's joined in, and Dade swapped a little late. Distortion goes in. They're going to dive a second turret potentially, but have to give it away. Bit of a misdive as Lupa. He's way too low. That should be a kill potentially. Even Braum going to find his way in onto the Z as Nuna's here as well. Does pop the death sentence. Lantern away, but Tree's found Lupa. That's going to force a flash from Rumble. Back down. Dade will get away safely with the help of Love City, and Lupa, as Condi swoops in for the save, gets away as well.
And I'm so surprised Dade didn't commit to that kill there on Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai's going a tank build with Barmy's Cinder. Really doesn't do that much early damage. This isn't some longswords coming out for a warrior enchant. So Dade not committing to that one is a little bit of a surprise for me. Yeah,
we can see good poke though coming through for Urgot, but we actually return to the bottom lane now. We'll finally get our AD carry matchup back here. Lupa with a slight experience lead in the top side, probably just fine on the Rumble, and Graves with a BF sword, probably not afraid of Urgot anymore.
Yeah, definitely not afraid of Urgot. In fact, it's Urgot who's being zoned away without Braum down here. We'll have some good burst damage coming through before Urgot's able to grab that level 6, then the lane might swap back, but right now, completely comfortable.
Lupa, Doran Shield plus the Amp Tome. Double Doran's there for Eternal. So going to get some farm back. All these top laners is a pretty equal as far as early CS goes, although obviously a little lower than normal. Good block there by Braum with the shield. Going to move the buckshot away, and we can see the trade damage coming through, but level 6 there on the Graves. He's threatening for an all-in.
Yeah, and the thing about Graves is he's just got so much burst damage. You see already, so they're nearly in kill zone for the next buckshot.
They're looking for it. If Love City had landed the hook, that might have been go time. Ignite there for Love City as well. Just a pink ward will get cleared instead here for M3. Collapse the tunnels, collect some money there as well. And Dade still farming away on the Z now. A bit behind on the LeBlanc, but looking just fine.
Yeah, only 10 CS down now as some more Acid Hunters come through for Ulcon.
Yeah, SMLZ actually going to take the opportunity to get aggressive. Smart stuff with Thresh tagged by the Noxian Corrosive Charge. SMLZ's free to last hit the Urgot.
Yeah, exactly right. It's always going to be the Thresh that's prioritized there, as you see. Some fancy footwork coming through from SMLZ. He gets tagged this time.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with SMLZ this series. He came in late to the party as far as M3's lineup goes, but seems like the team in general has finally gelled. And that AD carry, who was looking good, honestly. Candy looked great for M3, arguably the best performing member of their roster for the regular split, but all of a sudden, it's crunch time, and SMLZ is looking great.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they've got Gragas down here as well. They're going in.
Yeah, Barrel going to move in. Hook goes a little wide, though, and no ultimate thrown out there by Graggy. Means the M3 are going to misplay just a little on the bottom side gank.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a misplay coming through from Love City. He missed the flay, he missed the hook, really didn't get much in the end at all. And there was 4 members heading down there as well. So Nunai, he's going to be able to clear this one out, although Condi wants in.
Yep, defends the buff there. Scuttlecrab does go down, but the tunnel will be collapsed down the bottom. Hook landing on the Braum. SMLZ going to go in. That shield going to help out quite a bit, but SMLZ going back in. Great smoke screen landed in as well. Snipes him away. Flash actually still lands, but the Q will just miss the Threshers. SMLZ diving in aggressive. Ulti knocks him back. Swap comes through, but Yukon could still be in trouble as Nunai's found his way in. Eternal here as well. Lantern just there. SMLZ escapes away. Wonderful play play by Graves.
And they committed so much as Dade covers Condi's retreat. Now he's been caught.
Flash knock up in there. Great shadow though as well. Gonna all in onto Yukon. Dade goes in aggressive. Does get the kill. No, not quite get it. Dade will go down. Almost escapes, but LeBlanc claims the trade.
Yeah, used absolutely everything there did Dade and gets punished for it. It was all because Lupa didn't have the teleport, but still able to get in and out, pick up an advantage in the top lane. You would nearly even take that for M3.
Yeah, Dade's Z mechanics still on point here in the early stages, but Dragon will go over to KX. No gold advantage from that one, of course, but with a bit of an objective lead, going to start to snowball the objective potentially as M3. They're at 1,000 gold ahead, but no towers down right now. Just a couple kills traded back and forth, and a good start here for Kx.Happy.
Yeah, so Kx.Happy, they're performing very well. They've got a pretty good mid-game composition themselves, with the exception of Urgot. Ulcon, he's having a better game, only 9 CS behind. SMLZ isn't really getting out of control yet, but you just feel all the kill potential in the bottom lane are actually for M3, which just means that Urgot, kind of a wasted pick at this point.
Yeah, they picked it so early, and it's just... Urgot's a weird one to me. I think we're definitely still figuring out how good he is. Everyone started playing him into Kalista particularly, and it's a good flex for the mid, but I feel like if a mid laner doesn't play it, it might not be worth it. There's ever a big trade here in the top side. Lupa actually going to use the ulti there, try and cut off the retreat there for Eternal, but big damage there from the overheat of Flame Spitter. Condi with the zoning ultimate, but Lupa just gets it solo.
Yeah, so he didn't want to go back in, give Condi the assist, so good work. Just kind of suicided there, Eternal. He's had a horrible series, absolute shocker coming through. He's not performing the way he would like to, and you'd have to say it's a little bit of Condi applying some good pressure and a lot of Lupa playing much better.
Yeah, Lupa's been wonderful. I mean, even away from the Smite teleport laners, had Shyvana open into the Maokai, would have probably been fine, but didn't want to take it. Instead, back on his old favorite Rumble, and just even on this, with the regular flash teleport, looked great as well.
Yeah, certainly did. Did you see Churchy going a little bit aggressive? Now he's used his ultimate. Dade can go in for it.
Dade might look to go in. Does pop it as the chain goes through. Gets snared on the other side, but not enough damage from the Deathmark. Will pop the passive, but Dade navigating nicely in the trade.
Certainly did. Got the ultimate through his Churchy. He misclicks there onto a minion, so no kill potential there. Dade, he wants to get aggressive, but now it's Unai. He's in there as well.
Oh, swap though onto SMLZ. Good tag as well. Lantern out again from Love CD. Can't catch a break.
Yeah, cannot get in there, can Ulcon. He's tried so hard.
Brom as well, even trying to land up the ulti. Slightly mistimed on the CC chain there. SMLZ though going to defend Love City quite low, and Condi not in the area. He's actually in the mid lane here, knocking up onto Nunai, but pretty tanky on the Rex side. Cinderhawk completed, and both the mid laners have to be careful. There's two danky junglers trying to peel for them, and they both want blood.
Yeah, and all they're trying to do is shove the lane out so they get a free shop. Dade, he looks like he's finally achieved that. So he'll get his shop in there as Lupa. He's rotating down.
Back on it here. Sorkshoe's done. Equalizer a bit misplaced there, but Eternal running the right way. Actually going to kite back around. A flame spitter damage. Massive though, and Condi is rotating in. Lupa had friends coming. Condi moves in. Lupa going to get low. Does go down to Nunai. Eternal actually gets a bit of a reset, but Condi able to take him out as in the bottom. W in trouble there from SMLZ. Runs out of mana, but Love City with the Ignite picks up the kill onto Brom.
So they go super aggressive in the bottom lane, and they're not able to get anything for it. Ulcon's heal just off, just still on cooldown, so not able to save his support player. And you're a very nice man, Pastry Time. That wasn't a misplaced equalizer. That was an absolute shocker.
It's Condi looking to steal away the blue buff from Nunai. It's a smite battle here, potentially. Condi goes in for it. Buff resetting, though. Not good news here. In fact, they might just give it up and fight. Yep, Nunai's going in. LeBlanc's diving in there as well. Good ulti from Condi keeps him safe, but he's ignited down as well. Barrel comes in. Good prey seeker there, but not enough damage. Gragas, so tanky.
Yeah, certainly isn't. He gets the ignite out. Dade actually hanging around in the wings has been spotted out. So he needs to be careful here.
Aggressively recalling still though. Wonder if they go for him. Dade realizes that, don't want to do in there. Shadow, bit misplaced there from Dade, right on top of his old self, but we'll get away from the Brom.
Yeah, in this game getting a little bit sloppy now, Pastry Time. Some misplays across the board. Aggression coming out of Condi where he probably had no right to be. Not able to pick up the kill on the side of Kx.Happy, and Dade, he just wanted to get even further into that wall.
Yep, trying to go in. Actually gives up on some of the CS. Misses one, but gets the others. Maybe wants his blue buff as Love City clears out a pink there as well. So continuing the good vision, RM3. Dade going to go back in shot. Might have a big buy hit coming up for the Dragon Fight. And Looper with the Haunting Eyes going big. Finally a great equalizer coming through an Eternal. You are dead, my friend.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's going to go down there. Tries to dodge some of the damage with a Twisted Advance, but Looper, he started to catapult ahead in this lane. And this was the original counter pick to Maokai coming through. Everyone believed that Rumble had a better lane matchup, and Looper proving that's still the case.
Yeah, demonstrating it nicely here with the counter pick he got. Didn't want a big farm jungle, wants a nice mid-game carry here, and that's M3's comp right now. We're going to close out the series and leap themselves into the semi-final to play for one of the 2 remaining LPL spots.
Yeah, they certainly are looking very strong at this point, and this is what we expect coming out of M3. As we said, they were 1 game, can't stress that, so close to the playoff spot. But you thought Dade, he might just arrive and do some big things, but in the end, playing for his team's life, arguably just as important, doing a very admirable job.
Yeah, I think Dade, you know, when the games really matter, he comes up big, and they certainly matter at this stage of the game. Can't afford to lose too much, and are off to a great start so far. Now the death mark going to come down onto Tree. LeBlanc in trouble. Dade flashing forward. SMLZ's in there as well, and Dade, he probably had that solo, but a bit of help coming just in case.
Yeah, so he didn't have to burn either summoner spell, so the kill pressure remains. SMLZ, he grabs a blue buff for himself, and you see there,
unhappy looking mid laner. Yeah, Tree in the bottom left shaking his head.
Yeah, not too happy anymore is Tree. He's been a little bit outclassed throughout the entirety of the season. Laned very well, just hasn't been able to do as much in the team fights. And that seems to be the story of Kx.Happy. They're a very good laning team. They do nothing surprising. Pretty standard and just not able to get there against what is a very good M3 lineup.
Yeah, and M3 looking good so far. Got a mid turret in there as well. And I guess that's sort of what we expected. It is, of course, that 6th place team versus the 9th place. So as far as seeding goes, it's kind of 1st versus 8th, if you want to think about it that way. So again, expected to go into M3's favor here as they get themselves the Dragon. Looper dodges a gank there in the top, so just kind of walks away from it. And M3 so much control at this stage, 4,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, they certainly do have some control over the map, and you see they're just trying to fire them up, Kx.Happy. If the game goes super late, they might be able to get a pick with their LeBlanc and make good things happen, so that's probably what they're looking for. But at this point, Maokai, he's just not a threat. He's not a super tank. Hasn't been able to get anything going, and Rek'Sai should be able to beat out Gragas in early aggression, but Condi, he seemed to be able to match Nunai pretty well.
Yeah, Condi's had a wonderful series. He's really been the person that's stepped up, I think, the most towards the latter end of the LPL season, and now, of course, the promo tournament for them as well. Dade's actually joining in the top side. Blade of the Ruin King has been completed, so split push is on, but first they're going to try and kill Eternal. Great Electro Harpoon there landing, and Dade's in the mix. Eternal, nowhere good to go.
Yeah, so they're able to pick him up there, and now it just seems a little bit clinical again from M3, actually recalling.
Wow.
I thought they were going to take that turret in the top lane. It is the last remaining outer, but instead they decide to recall as a group.
And that's so confident from M3 as well. Just being like, you know, we don't need the tower right now. We'll get it eventually as Brawl Ultimate actually used there that Glacial Fissure just for some disengage, but Looper teleported around the side, looking in as well. Yulkin gets mini-stunned into a wall by Condi's explosive cask, and now going to swap away. Flashes to safety there as well, but Looper going to follow Flash. SMLZ running him down. Does have the ulti, does the Graves, but doesn't want to use a buckshot there instead. Love City just needs to line something up, but the flash away will keep him safe. Nunai in reserve there as well as LeBlanc trying to find a line, but can't get anyone squishy.
Yeah, so they get another one for nothing. Traders, wow, played out of the Mimic Distortion. Heads up play from Love CD. And M3, they seem to be firmly in control.
They are indeed, and Dade free to do whatever he wants now with the Blade of the Ruin King. Can split push for days. We normally credit Dade for being one of the best team fighting Zeds in the world, but he's got so much space right now, he might as well start roaming.
Yeah, exactly right. He's able to pick up all the tunnels on the top side of the map. He gets 2, doesn't want to go for the 3rd. He'll let the Rek'Sai have that one.
There's too much farm in the top lane.
Yeah,
he can't give it up. Oh, Eternal. Dodges the hook. Loves the misplacing that one ever so slightly.
Counted the blue dots pastry time.
Yep, they're too powerful. Definitely the counter to Dade.
Yeah, able to go in there. He picks himself up even more farm. He's got all of his summoner spells, his ultimate, Blade of the Ruin King, and makings of probably a Yomu's Ghostblade with that Brutalizer, going full snowball build and looks pretty strong.
Yeah, it's big mid-game general here for M3 as Looper actually getting tagged. Equalizer down. Great hook there onto Nuno. Double play back as well. Condi in the mix. Going to chuck out the ulti, but Looper gets assassinated by LeBlanc. But tanking turret hits now as Churchill will go down as SMLZ gets a double. Gragasol finally uses Dade, has made his way back down. Going to go in onto the Urgot as they'll peel back away for Eternal. Condi gets that kill. Urgot going to go down to Dade. Wonderful target selection by M3. Net some 4 kills for 1.
Yeah, and good communication. They realized Dade had the kill over on the side. They break away, pick up the bottom half of the team fight, and in the end, they go 4 for 1, and they're going to grab a turret.
Yeah, turret will go down here as SMLZ pushing in aggressively. Top outer still up here, but the tier 2 in mid will fall away. SMLZ didn't even need to quick draw.
Yeah, not really concerned about it. Looking to get out now. They're collapsing once again onto Nunai. He needs to be so careful here. Went for the aggressive ultimate to grab his blue, but that's really not your jungle anymore.
Nope, Dade's jungle now. Condi's going to be in there as well. Someone will try and steal this away, although not going to overcommit. Reinforcements coming in, so have to back away. Dade level 13 right now, and the Zed looks in for a Q, but Nunai takes it instead.
Yeah, and that's once again really controlled play coming out of this M3 lineup. They probably could have got that. It was only the support coming in, but they recognize there's very little to gain, only a blue buff for very high risk, so they just back away.
Yeah, I mean, actually now Braum as Dade goes back in. Ultimate will complete there, and Braum going to get taken out. LeBlanc trying to find the Zed. Dade, so sneaky. Now maybe even going to go back in with Condi coming through. Chains landing in, but that's a flash forward for Condi. LeBlanc forced away as Eternal teaming up with Nunai does take out Looper.
Yeah, but now the race is on from Dade. The teleport comes through from Maokai, so that'll get him to safety, and now Rek'Sai fancies his chances.
Yeah, Ulkorn coming up there as well on the Urgot. Tree diving in as well. Dade gets just missed there by the chain as Condi comes in to peel off with the barrel. And back down the bottom side, SMLZ and Love City working on another tier 2.
Yeah, so they've played PvP before. They didn't really like it. They prefer this PvE game, so they're going to manage to take themselves a turret. Wow, Condi. Yeah,
aggressively going to force Tree off the turret, actually. LeBlanc, not that many items. Oh, that's awkward. Twisted Advance lands in. SMLZ, click the land. Can't find it yet. Does get away, though, down towards the bottom side as Condi just wave clearing, ignoring LeBlanc completely.
Yeah, I think he was just waiting for Maokai to maybe Q so he didn't get knocked out of the lantern there. In the end, what that meant is he spammed a moat, then shot him once.
Good stuff there. As SMLZ does get away to safety. 5-0-3 on the Graves. Again, a quiet performance here, but Phantom ran to Infinity Edge at 22 minutes. Throwing a Vamp Scepter there as well for a bit of sustain. And SMLZ, the unsung hero perhaps of this series.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's had a very good performance in all of the games. So one for me that we'll have to watch as this tournament goes on. Dade actually getting chunked out here from Ulkorn. Going in now.
Oh, very smart stuff. Waits it up, but a swap comes in. Good stuff from Urgot, trying to keep himself alive. Denies most of the extra damage coming in, and now Nuno's up in the top as well. Dade has to be careful. They are going to dive in for the turret. Rex are real tanky at this stage, and Dade, no good places to go. Does have a shadow to go back to, but might be out of range. Getting chased down. SMLZ, though, coming around the side. Dade flushes late, but it's real worth there as Eternal diving back in. Dade finds a sapling, though. Lantern again, but Love City as the hooks land in. Boxes them in. Love City, amazing play.
Yeah, so they're able to just get everything one more time. Looper without a teleport. He's split pushing in the bottom lane now. They pick up the kill. Go in.
Diving in onto Dade. Treacher gets the kill. Eternal will get flayed back there into the turret. They're going to keep moving through. SMLZ, real tanky. Condi diving in. Gets the kill with the auto there from Drunken Rage onto Maokai. The Mimic going to get knocked away. LeBlanc tanks a one turret. It may be one more left there as Nuna going to get the top side turret as a result. SMLZ still chasing though down in onto LeBlanc and just to find somewhere good to go. Maybe just has enough to get executed here, but going to distortion away. Running to the turret, and that should be an execute. Looper even tries to find the equalize, but there it is.
Yeah, so they're able to execute their tertiary, so that's a small victory, but they will give the Dragon over to M3. And this game just escalated once again real quick in the mid game, and 6-0-4 for SMLZ. He'll go back, maybe even pick himself up another BF sword. No, he only has 700 gold in his back pocket, so probably looking to farm up.
And even faster game here for M3. We said they picked for mid-game. They have turned it on here at the 24-minute mark. 4-2 in turrets. Massive amount of gold, up 7,500 with 17 kills to 6 as 2-1 in Dragons. The score there as well. And mid lane LeBlanc doing his best data impression this game, and not the good one, unfortunately. That's a Madrize, just in case.
Yeah, this game's going one of two ways. Downhill very quickly, or we will crawl our way back in. In both cases, Madrize pretty cost effective.
Yeah, not too bad there, as we do have W roaming in towards the top side of the map. Dade level 14 now going to go in onto a tournament. Nunai was in the wait. Marco going to go low though. Dade doing massive damage. Does get the trade kill, but no Lantern does shadow away. Ultimate coming in for Braum. Ignite down there as well. Dade just shadows away. Love City with another Lantern, and SMLZ going to join the party onto the tanky Rek'Sai, but doesn't care at all. Braum going to dive his way back in and probably going to die now. Forced to flash away. SMLZ going big. Auto's in there. Gets the kill, and they'll finally take the outer turret.
Yeah, you see him just critting away on the backside there with the Phantom Dancer, with the Infinity Edge. Meanwhile, Lupa's being forced off a turret by Ulcorn, so he's a little bit stronger than what he was last game, but still 0-3-2, not having the best. And we see SMLZ, he's really fed.
He's massive here, 7-0-4 on the Graves. Rek'Sai ulting towards the top side to try and cut them off, but Love City's lands have been on point this game. An absolute lifesaver on the Thresh. The hooks, maybe not so much as that one just goes a little wide, but Scuttle Crab goes down, SMLZ collects the gold. Lupa's teleported back down towards the bottom side as well, and Baron might be where M3 looks, and they're executing the 4-1 wonderfully.
Yeah, they certainly are. So
chasing Tree is the problem. SMLZ going in, crits everywhere. I mean, you can only distort so many. If you're in range of the Graves, they'll just take you out. Condi getting some slow will zone out the rest of Kx.Happy, and Dade plenty of free time down the bottom side, creeping in towards the level 16.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's up to level 14, nearly halfway through that one, so he'll be completely fine. They're trying to pick up a blue buff one more time here, Kx.Happy. Probably will get it because there's just not enough members around to challenge. But Lupa, that was a strange teleport. No ultimate. Teleports in. Not really much you can do at this point.
Yeah, not even a home guard just to get the melee range harpoon for a slow, but a bit ambitious perhaps there by Lupa, but having a fine game right now. And SMLZ, look at that gold difference.
Yeah, that is huge. Again, 4,000.
Yeah, even Dade as well in the mid, 10,000 gold here, 2,000 gold up on the LeBlanc in the mid side as well. And SMLZ again, banking a lot of gold here, looking for that Bloodthirster third once again, much like in the Civ game he had. And he's just been wonderful. His team's played excellently, and he's just crept up slowly, picking up all the kills.
Yeah, and every single time, he hasn't really done anything flashy. He's just been there, willing to team fight with his team, coming in for support a lot of the time, and it's really helped out.
Poor Malco now getting chased down by the Z is a horrible feeling. Eternal, level 11, the death mark will pop, but Dade at this point just wants to harass him away. Level 16 going to make that hurt even more, and he's 4 levels down is the Maokai versus Zed.
Yeah, so not in a good position is Eternal. He used the W to dodge out a lot of the damage. That's why he lived there, but Dade, he's 1v1 is pretty scary.
Hey, Ulcon now going to get caught. Electro Harpoon down as well. That will force the flash and the ulti there coming through from Braum, and M3 continue to push. They'll stay as a 4-strong unit here, and Dade will just continue being as annoying as possible in the bottom lane.
Yeah, you see with some cooldown reduction, already halfway through that cooldown for his ultimate. Looks like they're trying to make a 5-man team fight happen somewhere now, Kx.Happy. They might have found it.
Yeah, double knockup found there from the unborrowed box. So down as well. SMLZ throws his ulti in, but not quite on the squishy members. Ultimate down for Lupa's placed very nicely in the choke point. As Condi going to get aggressive, but taking a lot of damage. Trichi trying to assassinate someone in the back, but Lupa almost gets the kill solo. Now Nunai going to get hooked in and taken out. Lupa does get the kill onto LeBlanc as well, as Rek'Sai just lives on the back there, but SMLZ going to chase his way in. Love City gets slowed, and Dade busy killing inhibitors.
Yeah, so Dade, he decides it's his turn to just avoid a team fight, able to pick up the bottom lane by himself off the back of that. And that's horrible news. If you can't win a 4v5, game's probably out of reach. They even pick up a parting kill on the backside of the jungler. That will mean the Baron is open whenever they want it.
Yeah, Dade's ulted again onto Eternal. Wants to kill this time. Will get it with wonderful play. And that inhibitor might even go down as well. Dade not even hitting it, farming all of the minions.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of the old Dade coming through, looking for repetitive 1v1, trying to play himself back into form.
Looking good so far. Gets swapped away, unfortunately. Net up there as well, so a bit of a misstep, but trading for the Baron, not too bad. Doesn't get the inhib again. Greedy on that farm, really wanted the cannon.
Yeah, he certainly did want to get in there, but in the end, he was just creating a very tasty diversion for his team. SMLZ, he's actually the real star player this time around.
I agree. He's had a wonderful series. That Sivir in the last game, and Graves in this one's looked great, and he played so well in the first game, I've forgotten what he played. It was, I think, it might have been Sivir.
Yeah, he played Sivir.
There we go. We solved it. So I'm missing game 2 then. That's fine here. It's been a wonderful series for M3 regardless here. 12,000 gold and counting ahead for this side. Runner SMLZ sitting back in his chair, you can see in the bottom right. Going back, relaxing now. Got an extra zeal, because why not? Doesn't really need the Bloodthirster apparently.
Yeah, so just going for outright damage here with some crit coming through. And of course, crit always a useful stat. If you can burst someone down with Graves, it puts you in a good position. Not really a caster build, more of an auto attack. Might even be sneaky mana Trinity Force coming through there.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. We'll have to see what he wants to do there. We do actually have a critical cloak for Dade now as well, so possibly looking for a big IE for even more 1v1 potentially. Talked about it before. Dade has had one goal this game. Never ever group with his team, and he's successful so far.
Yeah, exactly right. He's just looking to split push at all points in the game because there's no one that can really 1v1 him. Maybe Urgot can survive and walk away, but there's no one that can outright kill him, and he knows that.
I feel like if Maokai isn't surviving, then Urgot's probably not surviving. Even though they're actually similarly tanky, but all offensive items there for Urgot. Barely any defenses for the Maokai. And Eternal going to get ganked up once again. It's not Dade this time, it's just the rest of M3 as Eternal running away, going to try and find it, but gets played away. And that's similarly his 8th kill of the series.
Yeah, and not Dade, but the exact same result coming through from 4 members. They're able to get through. This time it will mean an inhibitor. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai, that's the person they've sent to try and defend. And it doesn't look like it's going to be successful.
Yeah, smart swap there coming through as LeBlanc desperately trying to get a trade turret, but Dade continuing to push away. LeBlanc can't even finish that turret there despite some free time, and bit of damage onto the Nexus turrets as well. Condi having a bit of a giggle. As M3, I think they can taste their victory here in the series. Condi might look for an aggressive ulti, but at this point, KX have so much to climb back from. As Trichi gets hooked out of a distortion, killed by SMLZ. W will fall as well. Condi going in big there, tanking up all the damage. Eternal's down here as well. Dade will eventually wander down here to clean up a kill, but he's not needed.
Yeah, not needed at all. Another 4v5 coming through. There's some minions. Dade wants in.
Oh my god, going in deep, gets hit by the fountain laser. Almost gets the kill, does complete it actually onto Urgot. Tower falls down, and M3, a wonderful start to their promotion tournament. 3-0 versus Kx.Happy.
And the whole season long, Patient, we've talked about M3 getting the confidence back, feeling more like a team and getting some smile in their play. You can tell from the last game that definitely is the case.
Rek'Sai ulti's off, knows that the dreams have been crushed here, and one step closer to being back into the LPL, and Dade looking pretty casual there. You can see M3 congratulating their opponents, shaking their hands, saying well played, but M3 today expected to win here, but won in just incredible fashion.
Yeah, they certainly did. That was a very one-sided affair, and you see Dade, he still doesn't look happy. This is not the tournament that he wanted to play. He wanted to play in the next one.
He did want to play in the big one that will be coming up, the playoffs that he'll miss this time. The King of Spring will not be playing in the spring playoffs somehow. That's a crazy thing to think, but M3 at least need to get themselves back into the LPL, and today they got themselves one step closer.
Yeah, they certainly did, and the other side of the bracket is going to be looking at that and be slightly concerned because an inform M3 is something no one wants to have to deal with.
I mean, the question for everyone might have been, when were they going to finally find their feet here? And it seems like, again, when it's clutch time, it's not even just Dade or Looper that's playing exceptional. The whole team, I mean, we talked about it. The MVP for that series, probably their AD carry player.
Yeah, it certainly was for me. He came up absolutely huge to SMLZ.
It was wonderful there, but we have more League of Legends coming up, of course. The spring playoffs will be here after a break here. EDG will take on World Elite.